Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine for no reason at all? Imagine stepping into a place where silence isn't peaceful, it's heavy, watching, alive. These are not just stories, they are real places where shadows linger, whispers echo, and footsteps follow you even when you're alone. Every corner hides secrets that centuries could not bury. Tonight, we're exploring 10 haunted locations across the globe where fear and history collide. And as you listen, you might wonder, if you were standing there yourself, would you ever feel safe again? If you're enjoying this spine-chilling journey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Traveling Guide Hub for more unbelievable haunted adventures. 1. Aokigahara Forest, Japan. Step into Aokigahara Forest and the silence will press down on you, like someone unseen is walking right behind. The line between life and death blurs here, and the trees hold secrets they will never tell. Even before you take a single step, a strange heaviness fills the air, as if the forest itself is watching, waiting. Nestled at the northwest base of Mount Fuji, Aokigahara, known as the Sea of Trees, was once a sacred retreat. Monks and ascetics meditated here, drawn by its isolation and the stillness of towering pines. Over centuries, however, the forest became infamous for a far darker reason. People slowly abandoned its edges, leaving whispers of hikers who vanished without a trace, mysterious disappearances, and stories of those who never returned. The lava-strewn soil and rugged terrain make survival difficult, but it's the forest's quiet, oppressive atmosphere that lingers in every shadow, thick and almost tangible. Visitors often feel it the moment they step onto its narrow trails. Footsteps crunch behind them. They turn, no one is there. Jackets lie abandoned on the path, shoes and backpacks scatter along hidden trails, the silent evidence of those who entered and never came back. Some hear faint murmurs, a rustle when the wind is still, or the sudden snap of a branch as if something moves just beyond sight. Others speak of eyes on them, a sensation impossible to shake. Every step feels measured, as though the forest itself is breathing around you, watching, waiting. Shadows stretch and shift. The trees seem alive, patient witnesses to countless stories. The deeper you go, the heavier the air becomes. Hearts race, pulses quicken. A sudden snap, a whisper, a branch that seems to move. These tiny shocks leave a mark long after you leave. The pull between fascination and fear grows stronger with every step, embedding itself deep in your chest and mind. Walking through Aokigahara is both a sanctuary and a trap. Beautiful yet suffocating, it leaves its impression long after you've gone. And as you glance back at the endless tangle of green, you can't help but wonder, what truly haunts these ancient trees? And if the forest remembers everyone who entered, are you the next story waiting to be told? 2. Eastern State Penitentiary, USA. Step through the heavy iron gates of Eastern State Penitentiary, and the air hits you first. Cold, sharp, almost alive. A distant clang echoes through the empty corridors. Shadows twitch the edges of your vision. Every footstep feels like it awakens the walls. You pause. The silence presses in. Something unseen is moving just out of sight. Built in 1829 in Philadelphia, this prison was revolutionary. Its solitary cells were designed to isolate inmates completely, forcing them to reflect and reform. But isolation became a prison of the mind. The hallways stretched endlessly, narrow cells where men and women lived alone for years. Each anguished cry, each whispered confession left a mark. And when it finally closed, only cold stone, rusted iron, and echoes of suffering remained. Visitors speak of the moment they enter, a sudden chill, the distant creak of a door, a fleeting shadow disappearing around a corner. Footsteps echo behind them. They turn. Nothing. Metal groans. A flash of movement at the end of the hall makes the heart jump. Some hear faint whispers, unintelligible but unmistakably human. Others smell something faint, earthy, long gone. Every corner seems to hold a secret, every shadow a memory too heavy to release. Midway through the cell blocks, a sudden slam of a door echoes like a gunshot. The moment jolts the senses, resetting your fear, reminding you that the penitentiary is never truly empty. Marks on walls, scratched messages, the faint scent of old decay, stories that refuse to die. The deeper you walk, the heavier the air becomes. You feel it on your skin, in your chest, the weight of decades pressing down, thick and inescapable. As you leave, stepping into sunlight, the iron gates creak behind you, as though sighing at your escape. But the prison doesn't let go. Its walls keep their secrets. A whisper drifts on the wind, and you can't help but wonder, how many echoes were truly empty? Who or what might still linger, waiting for the next footsteps?
3. Poveglia Island, Italy. The moment your boat nears Poveglia Island, a sudden gust of wind snaps against your face, like the island is warning you to turn back. Thick fog hugs the shoreline. Crumbling buildings loom ahead, shadows frozen in time. Even before you step onto the land, a chill snakes up your spine. Something unseen is watching, waiting. Located between Venice and Lido, Italy, Poveglia has a dark, haunting past. For centuries, it served as a quarantine station for plague victims, countless bodies burned and buried on this small island. In the 20th century, a mental asylum was built here. Patients reportedly suffered cruel treatments and experimental procedures. Over time, the island was abandoned, leaving only decaying structures and whispers of unimaginable suffering. The stones themselves seem to remember, soaked in centuries of anguish. Visitors who dare to step onto Poveglia report immediate unease. The air feels thick, suffocating. Footsteps echo behind them. They turn, nothing. Distant screams pierce the silence. Faint laughter drifts across cracked pathways. Chains rattle along ruined floors. Shadows dart just beyond vision, vanishing the moment you focus. Jackets, abandoned shoes, broken furniture, each hinting at lives interrupted, secrets left behind. Halfway through the island, a sudden clatter, a shutter falling, or something unseen moving makes your heart jump. Your eyes feel watched, your chest tightens. Even the bravest explorers describe a heavy weight lingering long after they leave, as if the island itself imprinted its sorrow on them. Walking through Poveglia is like stepping into a nightmare anchored in reality. Its beauty is deceptive. Decay hides centuries of pain. Every step makes you feel smaller, as though the island itself is alive, counting every heartbeat. And as you glance back at the crumbling asylum, a sudden shadow flickers across the foggy shoreline. You freeze. The island seems to exhale. How many souls still wander here, unseen? And if the island keeps its secrets so carefully, what might it reveal to the next visitor brave enough to step ashore? 4. Bhangarh Fort, India. The moment you step through the ancient gates of Bhangarh Fort, a gust of wind whistles sharply, as if the walls themselves are exhaling secrets. A loose stone clatters underfoot, and you freeze. The empty streets stretch ahead, silent yet alive. Something unseen watches, patient, waiting. Built in the 17th century in Rajasthan, India, Bhangarh Fort was once a thriving town. Legends tell of a sorcerer, spurned, who cursed the fort, dooming its people to vanish. Over time, the streets emptied, leaving crumbling palaces, deserted temples, and echoes of lives abruptly interrupted. The Archaeological Survey of India now strictly forbids entry after sunset,
a warning of the fort's haunting reputation. Visitors notice something immediately. The air feels heavy, charged. Footsteps echo on the old stone pathways. They turn. No one. Doors and shutters creak as if moved by invisible hands. Faint chanting, whispers in languages long forgotten drift through the wind. Shadows flicker at the edges of vision, vanishing before you can focus. Jackets, sandals, broken pottery lie abandoned, a silent record of stories left incomplete. Halfway through the fort, a sudden gust rattles a temple door, sending a sharp clatter through the silent courtyard. A shadow flickers along the wall, gone before you blink. Hearts leap. The sense of being watched intensifies. Even those who laugh off the legends feel a prickling on their skin, a tightening in their stomach, as if the fort itself is alive, counting every heartbeat. Every crumbling wall, every darkened doorway seems to hum with secrets too heavy to release. Walking through Bhangarh is stepping into a story that refuses to end. Its stark beauty masks centuries of sorrow and despair. Every step makes you feel smaller, as though the fort itself is alive, measuring your fear. As you glance back at the ruined palaces, a shadow flits across a temple window. The air stiffens. You pause. How many souls still linger in the abandoned streets? And if the curse is real, will it notice the next visitor daring enough to enter after dark? And if it does, will they ever leave?
5. Leap Castle, Ireland. The moment you cross the heavy wooden doors of Leap Castle, a sudden chill slaps your face, like the stone walls are exhaling centuries of anger. A distant thud echoes through the dark corridor, and your heart skips a beat. You freeze. Shadows twitch just at the edge of your vision. Something unseen watches, patient, waiting. Built in the 15th century in County Offaly, Ireland, Leap Castle has a bloody and violent history. Home to the O'Bannon family, whose feuds were legendary, rooms became stages of betrayal and brutal murder. Whispers speak of a secret dungeon, the Bloody Chapel, where countless lives ended violently. Over centuries, the castle was abandoned, crumbling stone, rusted iron, echoes of suffering. Locals still speak of strange happenings, cold spots, and unusual sounds that seem almost alive. Visitors feel the oppressive atmosphere immediately. The air is thick, heavy. Footsteps echo on stone floors. They turn. No one. Doors groan on their hinges. A faint scream drifts through the hall, too soft to locate. Shadows flicker along the walls, gone before you can focus. Rusted chains, broken furniture, cold patches of air, a faint scent of iron or something fouled and long dead drifts past. Some report a metallic taste in their mouths, a tightening in their stomachs, as if the castle itself is testing them. Midway through the corridors, a sudden metallic clatter, perhaps a falling candlestick or an unseen hand, jerks the heart. A cold draft snakes around your legs, even though all windows are closed. A shadow darts across a distant wall, gone before you can blink. A fleeting whisper brushes your ear. Every room seems alive, echoing the pain, the fear, the fury of centuries past. The history of blood and betrayal seeps from the walls into the very air around you. Walking through Leap Castle is stepping into a nightmare anchored in reality. Its decaying stone hides generations of terror. As you glance back at the Bloody Chapel, another shadow flits across the far wall. The chill intensifies, your chest tightens, you pause. How many souls still linger here, unable to rest? And if the castle keeps its secrets so carefully, who or what might be waiting for the next visitor brave enough to cross its threshold? And if it notices, will they ever leave?
6. The Tower of London, England. The moment you step onto the cobbled grounds of the Tower of London, a cold breeze slaps your face, carrying a faint metallic tang like centuries of blood and iron. A distant clatter echoes from the White Tower, and your heart skips a beat. You freeze. Shadows flicker across the walls, moving against the light. Something unseen watches, patient, waiting. Founded in 1078 by William the Conqueror, the tower has been a fortress, palace, and prison. Over centuries, it witnessed beheadings, tortures, and countless executions. The ghosts of Anne Boleyn, Lady Jane Grey, and other tragic figures are said to linger within its stone walls, forever trapped in echoes of betrayal and death. Today, the tower draws strange footsteps, cold spots, and whispers that defy explanation. Visitors feel it immediately. The air is thick, heavy. Footsteps echo on the ancient floors. They turn. No one. A shutter creaks. Faint whispers drift through the corridors, barely audible but impossible to ignore. Shadows dart along staircases and narrow passageways, gone before you can focus. A sudden chill brushes your neck. Your chest tightens. Goosebumps rise along your arms. The stone feels unnaturally cold. Every corner seems alive, holding centuries of fear, sorrow, and secrets. Midway through the fortress, a metallic clang rings out, perhaps a falling candlestick or an unseen hand. A shadow darts across a wall, gone before you can blink. Chains rattle faintly from the dungeons below. A soft whisper brushes your ear. Every room seems alive, echoing the pain, fear, and betrayal of centuries past. Even the bravest visitors glance over their shoulders, sensing the presence of those who never truly left. Walking through the Tower of London is stepping into a history that refuses to rest. Its towering walls hide centuries of secrets and tragedies. As you glance back at the bloody tower, a fleeting shadow passes across the window. Your chest tightens, a shiver crawls up your spine. You freeze. How many souls still wander these halls, unable to move on? And if the tower watches the next visitor daring enough to enter its gates, what will it reveal? And if it notices, will they ever leave alive?
7. Monte Cristo Homestead, Australia. The moment you step onto the creaking porch of Monte Cristo Homestead, a sudden gust of wind slams the front door behind you and your heart skips a beat. Shadows twist along the walls. You freeze. The floorboards groan under unseen weight. Something unseen watches, patient, waiting. Built in 1885 in Junee, New South Wales, the mansion was home to a family plagued by tragedy, deaths, accidents, and whispers of despair. Over the decades, it was abandoned. Empty rooms, broken windows, and decaying furniture now hold echoes of the past. Locals claim ghostly figures appear in the windows, footsteps echo in deserted hallways, chilling cries drift through the night. Monte Cristo is regarded as Australia's most haunted house, drawing thrill seekers and paranormal investigators alike. Visitors sense the oppressive energy immediately. The air feels unnaturally cold. A subtle metallic tang lingers. Footsteps sound behind them. They turn. No one. A door latch clicks in the distance. A faint wail rises from the upstairs rooms. Shadows flicker along the hallways, gone before you can focus. Some feel a sudden chill crawling along their spine, hairs standing on end. The rocking chair in the parlor moves slowly, almost deliberately, and a single piano key plays by itself. Midway through, a sudden loud bang shakes the floorboards. You jump. A fleeting figure appears at the end of a hall, gone before you can react. A whisper drifts past your ear. Every corner feels alive, carrying decades of fear and sorrow. Even the bravest visitors glance over their shoulders, sensing presences that should not exist. Walking through Monte Cristo is like stepping into a nightmare rooted in history. Its Victorian elegance hides untold torment. As you glance back at the staircase, another shadow glides past the window. A tightening in your chest, a shiver crawling up your spine. You pause. How many souls still linger here, trapped between worlds? And if the house notices the next visitor daring enough to explore its halls, what will it reveal? And if it watches, will you ever leave alive?
8. Stanley Hotel, USA. The moment you step through the grand entrance of the Stanley Hotel, a sudden chill sweeps over you, and the floorboards groan beneath your feet. A distant door slams in the empty hallway. Your heart skips a beat. Shadows stretch along the walls, twisting and retreating. You pause. Something unseen watches, waiting. Built in 1909 in Estes Park, Colorado, the Stanley Hotel was meant as a luxurious retreat for the wealthy. Its grand halls, ornate rooms, and sweeping staircase hide a darker side. Tragedies, unexplained deaths, and mysterious happenings all left their mark. Guests and staff report doors opening on their own, faint music echoing through empty rooms, and figures glimpsed just out of sight. Stephen King drew inspiration for The Shining from its eerie energy, cementing its reputation as one of America's most haunted locations. Visitors feel it immediately. The air grows heavier. A shiver crawls up your spine. Footsteps echo behind you. You turn. No one. A chandelier quivers. A single piano note drifts across the grand ballroom, yet no one is there. Shadows linger along the hallways just long enough to unsettle. A prickling on your skin, a cold draft brushing your neck, a metallic tang on your tongue. Midway through, a sudden sharp thud shakes the floorboards. You jump. A fleeting figure appears at the top of the staircase, gone before you can blink. The ghost of a maid is said to glide silently through the halls. Staff report unseen hands tugging at blankets in guest rooms. The hotel itself feels alive, whispering fragments of long-forgotten conversations, echoes of joy and tragedy intertwined. Walking through the Stanley Hotel is stepping into a memory that refuses to rest. Its elegant facade hides decades of mystery. As you glance back down the grand hallway, a shadow slips across the wall. Your chest tightens. A shiver crawls up your spine. You pause. How many spirits linger here, unwilling to leave? And if the hotel watches the next visitor brave enough to roam its halls, what will it reveal? And if it notices, will you ever leave alive or become part of its whispers?
9. Château de Brissac, France. The moment you step into the grand halls of Château de Brissac, a sudden chill drifts through the air, and the wooden floors creak beneath your weight. A distant door slams somewhere upstairs. Your heart skips a beat. Shadows stretch along the ornate walls, twisting in the flickering candlelight. You pause. Something unseen watches, patient, waiting. Built in the 11th century and rebuilt in the 15th, Château de Brissac towers over the Loire Valley with its striking spires and elegant stone facade. Its grandeur hides centuries of murder, betrayal, and tragedy. One of its most infamous legends is the Green Lady, a ghostly figure said to roam the upper floors. Locals speak of her mourning cries echoing through the halls, mysterious footsteps in empty rooms, and sudden drops in temperature that make the skin prickle. The chateau draws visitors eager to glimpse the unknown. Visitors feel it immediately. The air grows heavier. A shiver crawls up the spine. Footsteps echo behind them. They turn. No one. Candles flicker unexpectedly. A soft whisper drifts past, almost pleading. Shadows glide along corridors, gone before focus can settle. Some notice a metallic tang in the air. Others feel a cold draft brush their neck. A distant rocking chair or a faint sob pierces the silence, making even the bravest pause. Midway through, a sudden thump reverberates across the stone floor. You jump. A fleeting figure appears in a tall arched doorway, gone before your eyes adjust. The Green Lady is said to appear, silently watching intruders. Even the most skeptical visitors feel a weight pressing down, a sense of sorrow, fear, and lingering presence that refuses to leave. Walking through Château de Brissac is stepping into centuries of secrets that refuse to rest. Its grandeur conceals both beauty and terror. As you glance back at the spiral staircase, a shadow passes across the wall. Your chest tightens. A shiver crawls up your spine. You pause. How many spirits linger within these walls, trapped in time? And if the chateau watches the next visitor daring enough to explore its halls, what will it reveal? And if it watches, will you ever leave alive or become part of its stories?
10. Borley Rectory Site, England. The moment you step onto the overgrown path leading to Borley Rectory, a sudden gust of wind cuts through the air, and the gravel crunches beneath your feet. A distant gate creaks open, and your heart skips a beat. Shadows twist across the crumbling walls of the rectory. You pause. Something unseen watches, waiting. Built in 1862 in Essex, England, Borley Rectory was once a grand Victorian mansion housing the local clergy. Its peaceful facade hid a darker history. Strange deaths, mysterious accidents, and unexplained phenomena plagued the house for decades. By the early 20th century, paranormal researchers began documenting eerie occurrences, objects moving on their own, doors slamming, ghostly footsteps, and fleeting figures in the windows. Dubbed the most haunted house in England, Borley Rectory's chilling legacy draws investigators and thrill-seekers from around the world. Visitors sense it immediately. The air grows heavy. A shiver crawls up the spine. Footsteps echo behind them. They turn. No one. Doors slam in the distance. Windows rattle, though the wind is still. Shadows twist along broken hallways, gone before the eyes can adjust. Some feel a cold draft brush their neck. A faint metallic tang lingers on the tongue. Occasionally, a fleeting figure appears in an upstairs window, standing silently, watching. Midway through, a sudden loud bang, pause, shakes the floorboards. You jump. A shadow darts across the corridor, gone before you can react. Strange whispers echo softly, like someone speaking just beyond comprehension. Objects shift on their own. Candles flicker, casting dancing shapes along the walls. Even the bravest explorers feel an emotional weight pressing down, a mixture of fear, sorrow, and tension that seeps from the very bricks of the rectory. Walking through Borley Rectory is stepping into a place where history and the unknown collide. Its walls conceal centuries of secrets, tragedies, and unquiet spirits. As you glance back at the crumbling mansion, a shadow moves across the shattered windows. Your chest tightens. A shiver crawls up your spine. You pause. How many souls still linger here, tethered to this world? And if the rectory watches the next visitor daring enough to cross its threshold, what will it reveal? And if it watches, will you ever leave alive or become part of its haunted story? As the shadows of these haunted places linger in your mind, remember, history isn't just about what was built or destroyed. It's about the stories left behind, the whispers of those who came before, and the mysteries that refuse to rest. Each corner, each corridor, each forest or mansion hides secrets that may never be fully understood. Walking through them is stepping into the unknown, where fear, curiosity, and history intertwine. So the question remains, if you dared to visit one of these places yourself, would you leave untouched
Or would you become part of its haunted story?